All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Nation Network. Vince McSham with you here. Thank you for joining me here for Ringside Rhetoric. It's an all-new thing. We've done some stuff in the past, which was basically just open commentary and things like that. But now what we're going to do instead is kind of go over wrestling from the week gone by. Now, I'm not doing WWE. I'm not doing AEW because that stuff is just hard to watch for me. But a few other things that I do try to keep an eye on. And we'll start, of course, with NWA Power because I know a lot of people aren't dropping the $5. I think it's the best money you're going to spend on wrestling, $5 a month to get the live shows that they've got. They've been also doing a show called Power Surge, if you haven't checked that out. A couple of matches maybe on that one. It's mostly about developing characters, doing some backstage interviews, things of that nature. Very old school feel to it. They haven't quite really come back in the NWA yet from the COVID thing. The rosters kind of got jumbled up. Obviously, a lot of guys and girls went on to other promotions or have hung up the tights or what have you. So they're kind of trying to pick up where they left off, but they also have a lot of new things whirling around. The team referred to as Strictly Business currently has Latimer, and they're temporarily using Adonis in that role as well. We're not sure if Royce is still in the picture or not right now. I'm not sure if there's a contractual thing going on, but he's not been on since, and it's gone a different direction where Nick Aldis has basically said anything goes. You know, nobody's definitely in anymore. I do wish they would change the name. We've done that here on the Nation Network. We've gone with High Society, which I think is a much better name. I've never liked Strictly Business as a name. I think it's weak. It doesn't portray a horseman-esque feel that I think they're going for. But I think if you go with High Society, hey, got to be a champion, baby. All right, so we're going to cover the action that took place, and hopefully this is all going to work out. Now, I'm trying a bunch of new stuff out here that I've never done before, so bear with me while I try and see if I can make the magic happen here. So I got to make a couple of setting changes real quick here. And hopefully this will all work. And I'll find out later when I look at the stream back. Okay, hopefully you guys are seeing what I'm seeing right now. So the thing kicks off. We've got our broadcast team. Let's talk about our broadcast team. Let me get the right side of the paper here. You got Kyle Davis, Tim Storm, and Velvet. Okay. Velvet, I'm sure she's a nice lady. I got nothing against her. She's horrible as a broadcaster. She sounds like she's trying to broadcast live from the library. She is so monotone, such a low tone of voice. Half the time you can't hear her. It's just, at first I thought it was a mic issue, but it's like week 3. It's not getting any better. She has no emotion. She's got no spark. It's just not working out that way. So you still got Joe Galley. I'm a fan of Kyle. I think Kyle does a great job. I think he could easily be in the broadcast, and I'd probably put him there next to Galley over Tim Storm personally. I just think he's a better broadcaster, definitely. More energy. He's got it down. He understands it. Tim Storm has improved. This is the best week he's had on the mic. He's always, up till now, been very drab and just not bringing it. That's all I can say about that. So let's move along. They were talking about a recap of what was going on. And then Joe Galley has this moment here where I don't know what he's looking at in this picture exactly. Oh, yeah, never mind. So Joe Galley comes out. He gets Strictly Business out there. And a week earlier, he had dropped the bomb that there's a big battle royal coming up, and the winner of that battle royal is going to challenge Nick Aldis for the title. And Nick was pissed because how did you know that before I knew that? So this was their first coming back together since then. And Aldis kind of lays into him a little bit, gives him a hard time. There was a rule made that there would be no champions in the Battle Royal. Aldis had Latimer and Adonis set for a tag team title match here tonight. He tells them, surprises them with the news that you are not going to be having that tag team title match tonight. Now, here's the thing that doesn't make a damn bit of sense to me. The idea of not having them in the tag team title matches so that they won't be champions, therefore they can go in the Battle Royal and either win it themselves and make it easy life for Nick, or weaken up some people that might get to the finals and face Nick for the title. problem is, isn't Adonis already holding a title? So the tag team match thing really doesn't matter too much. You're talking about one person, I guess. You're talking about Latimer at this point. But he says, I'm going to make sure you guys understand. I know it's new. I'll bring it to you guys backstage. It'll all be good. It'll all be good. So we got to wait and find out. Are we going to have a tag team title match or not? We move along. We have a TV title match qualifier between Mims and Matt Cross. And let me tell you, Mims had a couple of stiff moves in there, some good spine busters, a la Arn Anderson. Got a 2 count off of one of those. Looked good. But Matt stole the show, won it with a lethal injection. Did a great job with it. And Matt Cross has a fan following. I mean, this guy's been around for a few minutes, and he's done a really good job. Good worker inside the ring. And he is moving along in the qualifying process for a TV title match. I've got a funny feeling they're probably looking at giving him that match. And this was the stone's throw opener towards that end target. All right, next up, poor Kyle. Tyrus just messes with this man. He kind of rubs his head all the time and just like little man syndromes him. But we got Tyrus out there, and let me tell you, Austin Idol. I didn't watch a lot of Austin Idol back in the day because that's, geographically speaking, I was up north and we didn't have much Austin Idol to watch. That said, I've been impressed with his overall ring skills. It's much better than that goofy commercial stuff that he does. Then I started watching back some of his old stuff. Man, I'll tell you what, why he's not in the talk for all-time greatest promos, I don't know. And we're going to kind of touch back on that later on tonight in this stream. But I'll tell you right now, watching some of his old work, the guy is legit on a microphone. And he was pretty damn good in the ring, too. Anyway, he comes out there with Tyrus. And they call the Pope out to the ring. The national champion, or the TV champion, I beg your pardon. And try to congratulate him and try to act sincere in it. And I just want to extend my hand to you, man. We truly respect what you've done. And Pope just like walks away and leaves him standing there. And it's an interesting enough segment. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. That brings to another cutaway. We've got May over there doing an interview with Aaron Stevens. Aaron talking about the tag team title scene, the fact that his partner Kratos has kind of gone off the deep end lately, that Stevens has had an awakening and he wants to have his career memorized for doing things the right way in the honor of tradition that the NWA has always been known for. Apparently he hasn't seen The Horseman. So yeah, that's kind of where he's going at. We never see Kratos at this moment. We just know that there's heat building between the two of them, and that's about to come to a head at some time in the near future. It is evident. It's written on the wall, as they say. That's going to bring us up to our next match, which is brutal, to say the least. Kratos, his tag team partner, going up against Sal Rinauro. Sal trying to get some form of revenge for the beatdown he took at the hands of Kratos a week or so earlier. Comes out and gets a beatdown pretty much worse than the one before. Sal comes out with some big offense early on that does absolutely nothing. Kratos no-sells the whole hell out of it. Comes up, squashes him, has the pin, doesn't take it, pulls him up, goes back, squashes him some more, finally gets the pin. Surprisingly, Aaron Stevens doesn't get involved in the match at all. I don't know why. I would have thought for sure he would have wanted to come out here and said or done something about that. But didn't happen. Moving along, we get up to... This has been kind of interesting. This is the second week in a row where they've had spokespersons because they figured, well, this is always going to end up in a brawl with you two ladies, and we're talking about right now Thunder Rosa and Camille, who are head-to-head for that women's title match. So Taryn would be the spokesperson for Camille, and Melina would be the spokesperson for Rosa. And that's what happened last week. Well, all four of them come together again this week, only this time they're not spokespersons. They're just like friends in the background or whatever the case may be. It's not a bad run of a promo for what it was. Camille, that's, on the mic, she's got a little ways to go, but she makes some good moments. It wasn't terrible. Thunder Rosa's legit. I mean, part of me thinks she needs to be in the WWE, NXT, or something like that. But at the other point, I'd like, nah, man, they'll ruin her. Screw that. No, just stay on the indies. I love the fact that she'll show up on AEW one week, NWA another week. But that kind of brings us to this interview segment. While she's over here talking about Mildred Burke and the honor and time tradition, Camille comes up and says, Thunder Rosa, I'll give you the match. Even though I don't have to, I'm going to give you the match. But when I beat you, you're not allowed to wrestle for anyone besides NWA. So that's the stipulation that she got thrown in there, is that if Thunder Rosa loses this match to Camille, then no more AEW. No more showing up at any other promotion. She's going to be NWA only. Not bad. Interesting promotion. All right, we move along to what ends up being our main event, Jax Dane. And if you haven't seen Jax Dane, you need to check him out. He's a hoss. Going up against Slice Boogie, and Slice has been getting a lot of TV time between the West Coast and the East Coast. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match. Why? No idea. Very little history, if any, between these two guys, yet it's Falls Count Anywhere. All right, I'll bite. Crimson is apparently Dane's tag team partner, and I might have missed that or just glossed over it. It seems like that could have been. Crimson comes out about halfway through the match when it's starting to get heated up. They're using chairs, things of that nature. And he's got a towel in his hand. Crimson's kind of thinking that it might be time to throw the towel in and save his partner. Slice Boogie has him in the far corner, puts the steel chair around the neck, while Dane is sitting in the corner to the far left. And he's lining up, and just as he's getting ready to line up, throw the towel, Boogie gets up in the face of Crimson and says, don't you dare throw the towel. Won't let him throw the towel in. Well, while that's all going on, Dane gets back up, takes the chair off his neck, and comes charging in on Boogie, who sidesteps it, creating the collision that you knew would happen. Crimson hits the floor hard. Dane, concerned for his tag team partner, goes outside the ring to check on him. Doesn't want to come back into the ring. Well, it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, so there's no count out going on. Dane picks up the towel that Crimson brought to the ring, picks it up, throws it in the ring at the referee. So he essentially throws the match because he's so concerned about his tag team partner. At least it was something different. Haven't seen that one before, right? But, yeah, not exactly what I would have wanted to see them go out on. All right, well, that brings us back to, do we have a tag team title match or not? And everyone's standing by, and you got the headset, and we're listening for that special announcement, and Strictly Business has left the building. There is no tag team title match. They just kind of abruptly go off the air and say, so long, everybody. Wasn't a great week, but all things considered, could have been worse. So they're still getting their footing back. They were kind of getting that stride going right when the friggin' COVID bullshit came down, and now they're trying to pick things back up again, and it's a slow start. But I think they'll get there. I believe in them. That's why they get my $5. All right, let's see. The only other thing I was going to watch, and I keep forgetting, they're kind of shut down for a little bit. MLW will not have a new show until, I want to say, July 1st or 2nd, somewhere in there. They're going to be back at the ECW Arena, the 2300 Arena, with their first fans in attendance show in almost over a year. And they'll be back on, and that's when Spike's really going to be able to take care of business and get some good content up there. Right now, they're showing some classic footage on the Spike Network productions of MLW. That said, I decided to check one out on my own, since they don't have any of the current stuff, and I've already seen pretty much all the other stuff they're showing on Spike at this point in time. And I went with the Kings of Coliseum of 2019. Pretty solid show. It's definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it. Our boy Hammer. I love Hammerstone, man. I am a fan. And another guy who could easily show up in the WWE anytime he wants. A big part of me hopes he doesn't, man. I just don't think they'll do the right. Not that, in history, they could take a guy like that and blow him up and make him huge. I just don't think they've got the Midas touch anymore. I haven't seen. Name anyone that they've made matter in the last, 3 years? I can't think of too many that came from the. I mean, I look at EC3. They had him in the beginning, couldn't do shit with him. He leaves, goes over to TNA. Dixie Carter's TNA. Think about that. Let that settle in. And becomes legit. A world champion at that, and an okay one. Then goes back to WWE. Like, see, I can do it. And they fuck it up again. So when you see stuff like, and this guy, I mean, EC3, taking nothing away from him, he is ripped. That guy's got a physique for days. He's great on a microphone. His in-ring work in my book is solid. And the WWE can't do anything with him? No, your writers can't do anything, period. But anyway, I digress. Hammerstone, it's hammer time. Gets himself in the ring, puts his Openweight Championship up against Koto Brazil. And Koto Brazil does about what you would figure 160-pounders going to do against Hammer Time. And he loses. It was a good match. Almost botched the ending there. Hammer kind of almost dropped him, but man, he drilled him hard with that pendulum swing. It can't be a bad show if MJF is on the card. Man, this guy is gold with a microphone. Another guy, and he said he'll never go to WWE. I hope he sticks to that because we all know that they will absolutely ruin him. Next matchup, we've got Myron Reed going up against Ray Horus, who's supposed to be the cousin, I believe, or nephew, I forget which, maybe the nephew of Rey Mysterio Jr. Whether or not he is or not, I don't know, but they definitely have similar styles, and the guy can put on a match. Jumped ahead. Hold that thought a minute. Let's talk about the match a little bit. They had some great moments, great high spots. Oh, there was a sick over-the-top rope plancha that Ray did. That, I mean, yeah, we've seen a bunch of them over the years, but this one was legit. Looked great. Nailed it. Reed had a 450 splash. Nailed that. Looked great as well. And it came down to, you see, that's the thing. One of those moves easily could have been either the finisher or the strong lead up to the finisher. Instead, we end up with a finisher with a flying uppercut. Really? It wasn't so great of a finisher, but Myron Reed pulls out the win. Here we have a promo spot between Teddy Hart. You know, this is pre-recorded, right? Teddy Hart and Davey Boy Jr., and they end up bringing Brian Pillman Jr. into the conversation here later on. It was about the tag team titles being on the line, and that they're going to use Freebird rules, and that Brian Pillman Jr. had been on a losing streak, but we're going to get him out of that, and we're going to bring him on board. And the Bulldog says, I'm going to give up my spot and give him the belt to defend it with Teddy. Teddy, I think he's ready. It's going to be a ladder match. It's not happening on this card. It's happening on a card further down the line. You can see the match. It's on YouTube. And, well, I won't tell you how that one ends up since it's not a part of this event. But, okay match to watch. So, bottom line is they use Freebird rules, and they make the announcement here on this program. Salina de la Renta, whatever her name is, and Conan picking up their feud from Lucha Underground. Jim Cornette was doing a live Cornette drive-in, and originally was just going at it with Selena. It was actually going pretty well. She was holding her own. And then Conan comes out, and she makes a comment to him that, you know, you don't even know how bad you are, and you can't even satisfy a woman. And he turns around in Conan style and says, well, you know something? If you get on all fours right now, we can put that to the test. I'm like, damn. You're going to have to clean that up when you hit the big times. All right, that brings us to our main event, the MLW World Heavyweight Championship. Your champion, Tom Lawler, the filthy one, going up against Jacob Fatu. This is a history-making match because it would be the big night for Jacob Fatu and the Contra unit. Going into this one, they were really, and the thing I like a lot about MLW is they treat it like a sport. You know, you get tail of the tape, and the sounds of the announcing is more sports-oriented, not entertainment-oriented. So that's one of the reasons why I'm a huge MLW fan. So they were hyping up the fact that he hadn't lost in almost 7 months, and his legitimacy with the cage fighting and UFC and all that stuff, and how they're talking about his win-loss record in UFC. Great match. Had a lot of big moments for both guys. Lawler, I mean, he's a technician in the ring. He can do anything he wants. And I'd be curious to know what happened if these two guys really got into a scrap. Jacob Fatu, though, second time around, hits the Samoan moonsault, that springboard off the middle rope to the top rope into the moonsault, and squashes him flat. And after that becomes, oh, there it is, Shazam, the new MLW World Heavyweight Champion. That's what I watched this week, because I'm not going to watch those other crap shows out there. I just can't do it. It's not present. Let me see if I can get this back now. Boom. Boom. There we go. All right. Judas Outside Elbows back. Thank you again. Infrared TV. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, well, what's happening is this. It's Ringside Rhetoric time. So the other thing we were going to be doing tonight, but I didn't get any feedback. And, I guess I should do this. Boom. There we go. I didn't get any feedback from you guys. On the channel, in the community tab, I had posted a blurb that I want to do a playoff type bracket on all-time greatest promo people, and that's because watching Austin Idol, I realized I'd never really seen Austin Idol in his heyday, and damn, he's good. I mean, going back and watching him in Memphis with Jerry Lawler and so many other things he'd done along the way, and the guys he'd been in the ring with, and his promos are top-notch. And watching him, I was like, I put him in the argument, with the Dusties and the Flairs, and I'm not saying he's that, taking the number one spot, but he's in the fight. So what I want to do is basically come up with maybe 10 to 15 names and put them in a tournament bracket, and you, the fans, will decide week by week who advances and who will end up being the number one promo man at the end of the day. So the obvious names, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, throw those in, they're in. More contemporary names, I would go with The Rock. When I say more contemporary, in the last decade and a half, I would say The Rock's in there. Like him or not, I think John Cena was great on a microphone. CM Punk, there's another one. Going back in time, Austin Idol. Got to put him in there. I always thought Morocco was underappreciated in what he brought to the mic skills game. I thought Morocco was legit. So I'd throw him in there. Roddy Piper, of course, has to be in the conversation. But after that, who are we missing? And let's try and come up with a list, if we could, of names that we can pop in to a tournament. 16 seeds. All right, sounds good to me. We can do 16 if we got 16 legit names. Let me start jotting some of this down as we come up with them. Because then you got to seed everything, too. But you guys can throw them out there if you're watching this thing on delay after the fact. Put them in the comment section down below. We'll start putting it together this week, and then next week we'll start actually running through them. And right now my schedule is just so wonky. I would like to be able to announce when this is going to take place in advance so people can check it out and be there. Unfortunately, I just don't know what my schedule is going to be at this point in time, and next week it might even change up again. So best thing I can tell you is make sure you click that little bell notification so that you're alerted when we go live here on the Nation Network. So we got Flair, we got Dusty, we've got The Rock. I'm going to throw Austin Idol in there. What other names did we just have out there a moment ago? Piper. Morocco. For those of you that are just joining us, we are looking for some names of guys or girls that you think any time in wrestling history were supreme when it came to on the mic skills. So your Dusties, your Ric Flairs. Who else? Let's go by promotions first of all. Let's go with the NWA all-time best. Obviously, Flair, Dusty, boom, done. Now, what's after that? Who else could talk you into spending money? I mean, it wasn't like it was really well done, but it did work, and the Kolovs could definitely get under your skin. Oh, Jake Roberts. Yeah, dude. Jake Roberts, one of the best promos of all time. This is what I'm talking about. You start thinking about it, and the wheels start turning. Next thing you start thinking is, this would be an interesting playoff bracket. Women need their own tournament. I think we can just crown the winner right now. I'm going to go with AJ Lee. Who's got her beat? I'll throw Hennig's name in the list. We haven't got to 16 yet anyway, so I think he did an okay job. Other than AJ Lee, I mean, who's a good female on the mic, historically? And really, you'd have to narrow it down to probably the last 5 years, because prior to that, they never got to speak. I mean, Sherry did an okay job. I can't say Alundra Blaze was good on a microphone. She really wasn't. I like Alexa Bliss. I'd put her in the fight, but I think it's just her and AJ Lee, and AJ walks away with it. So, yeah, Sherry Martel, like I said, she was okay, but didn't have anyone to work off of. And I wouldn't put Sherry Martel over AJ Lee. AJ was top-notch female on a microphone. I'm racking my brain. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's better than Cyndi Lauper. I'm pretty sure she's got Wendy Richter beat. Definitely got Moolah beat. I can't think of anyone in the women's division that would even come close to AJ Lee. Meantime, back in the men's division, where are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're halfway there. We need 8 more.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka, brother.
No, can't do it. Maybe we start breaking it down by... Oh, Hulk Hogan. Come on, man. I'm not saying he was gold, but...
What you gonna do, brother?
We all dropped a lot of money on that. I always liked Tito Santana. I can't say he was a great promo guy, although I thought his promos were fine, but I wouldn't put him in this category. Did I put Piper in here? Yes. Who else? Well, hell, MJF. What am I thinking? MJF's got to be the most talented mic guy right now there is in the business. Hands down. And does it have to be a wrestler? I mean, what's wrong with Jim Cornette? At the end of the day, the Boogie Woogie Man. He definitely had a style to him. Like I said, we ain't got 16 yet, so I'll put everything in, and then from there, if we get more, we can work it out. Boogie Woogie Man and Big Mama. Eddie Kingston. Hell yeah. Eddie Kingston is real deal, man. He is great on a microphone. Always has been. First time I ever caught him at all is he was, I don't even remember, it was like 12 years ago, give or take. It was YouTube, and I forget what fly-by-night promotion he was working for or who he was getting ready to go at it with. But I remember the promo, which tells you how good it was. And he'd come out, and he's doing this one-on-one with the interviewer, and he's laying into him. And the last line of the promo, it's like, he's like,
Let me tell you something, man. What's going to happen to you, you ain't going to recognize, your mama ain't going to recognize, nobody going to recognize when it's all said and done. You said it's going to be a cold day in hell before Eddie Kingston beats you. Bundle up.
And I was like, damn, that was good. That was my first ever Eddie Kingston introduction, and after that, I was a fan. Scott Steiner. Could be just because I hate the guy personally, but I don't think he's a promo guy. New Jack. That's a tough call. Oh, Paul Lee, though. Got to get Paul Lee in the act. Scott Hall. Let me see. Raise the Ramon. Yo. Did he make you want to pay money? Joseph Samael's not bad. I'll throw him in there. What the hell? He's actually pretty good. Yeah, Captain Lou, but I wouldn't say he was great at promos. I mean, he was a character, and yeah, I still want to see him get his ass kicked, but we're talking about people that really just knew how to push buttons. And what was the name of that dude who was managing in WWE, got fired for making the Kobe Bryant comment on a live microphone? He was managing Primetime Players or something like that. Can't remember his name. I thought he had a lot of potential, but man, they cut the legs out from under him after that. Can't be saying those things about Kobe. You picked up a Smoky Mountain Wrestling on tape because of New Jack. I just have a hard time with New Jack, man. I mean, the stuff he did in the ring to people, I just wasn't. Abraham Washington, is that right? That sounds right. That does sound right. I thought for sure that boy was going to do big things, and then makes a little Kobe remark, and everybody says, forget it. I don't even remember what it was. Something to do with, like, oh, man. Something to do with, we're going to beat you like Kobe Bryant would somebody in a hotel room in Colorado, wherever the hell that was. It was a decent one-liner, but it cost him his career. But he had the right idea. It's like we're trying to bring the edge back because it just wasn't much worth watching back then. Well, it's not worth much watching right now either, for that matter. All right, let's see what we're up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Can we get one more? Let's see. Ronnie Garvin. No. Paul Bearer. Ooh, yeah. All right, that makes 16. Now, that said, like I said, a lot of people will be watching this after the fact. So if you want to add some names in the comments down below, or if you want to go to the community page here on this channel, you'll see that the latest post is asking for your ideas and suggestions. So if you've got one in mind that's not been already mentioned, add it to the list. The $1 Million Man. He was pretty good. I got to give you that. We might throw his name in the hat. What I'll do is I'll take like anything extra. I'll take them and put them in a small playoff round and throw that up on the community tab. And we'll eliminate a few of them that way and then lead into the next Ringside Rhetoric live stream. Eric Embry was underrated, and that's another one of those names, though, that I didn't get to see a lot of myself because of geography. But I did see some on the network. I was kind of doing a WCCW run of watching that, and then I got busy, and then the network went away, so. Actually, I got rid of it before it went away when they went to Saudi Arabia. All right. Like I said, folks, if you find another name that isn't on the list that we just went over and you want to add them to that list, put them in the comments down below this video. And then keep an eye out for the community page and the chat. And there'll be another opportunity for you to put some names out there. And then at the end of the day, we'll go with whatever gets it done. Okay. I think that's going to be about it for right now. Thank you guys for checking this out. It's a work in progress. I got some ideas on what I want this thing to do, and after I mess around with it a little bit more, I think we'll come up with something that works a little smoother. As even right now, I am struggling to find something up there is what I'm looking for. I think. Well, when all else fails. All right, everybody, you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you next time right here, ringside on the Nation Network.